Hi, it's Cassie Hicks from Modern Marketing Spark and the Modern Marketing Club. I hope you're well. Today is day 5 in my 5-day 5 and 5 Facebook Live, talking all about Facebook advertising. Now today we're going to talk, the topic today is what to do if and when your ads go wrong. Now I just want to manage expectation. Now Facebook ads are fantastic. I highly recommend them. They work for they don't work for every business, but they work for a very wide range of different types of businesses, and particularly for you, my community, which is very much made up of service-based professionals, coaches, consultants, but also authors and local businesses. So if that's you, then I am confident that you can use Facebook ads successfully. Now, we've covered a number of different topics this week, and I'd love your questions today. If you've got questions around if you've run campaigns and they haven't worked, or if you're thinking of running campaigns, or you're worried about running ad campaigns on Facebook. Hi there, say hello if you're joining the call. Let me know who you are, where you're calling in from, and do type any questions in the comments. So we've covered this week the resources and skills you need for Facebook ads, what sort of budget you should allow for, common mistakes. That was probably the meatiest one that we've had so far, common mistakes. And then yesterday we looked at the metrics to track. So I'm going to put all of these, they're up there in the Modern Marketing Club and also here on the Modern Marketing Spark page. So today, again, I'm going to keep this one quite short and sweet. I'm going to talk about what do you do if your ads aren't working. Now, I've worked with a lot of different clients who've come to me, they're running Facebook ads, but they're not working for whatever reason. Now, sometimes it's quite easy to fix, other times you have to do a bit more tweaking. So a couple of different things I want to talk about with Facebook ads when you've got a campaign up and running. Now, of course, the key thing really with Facebook ads is to make sure you set them up right in the first place. So if you set them up right in the first place, chances are you're not going to be in a situation where they're not working. But if you have already got ad campaigns up and they're not working, what do you do? Well, the fundamentals to look at are, remember we talked about Tom. So Tom isn't an old man. Tom is target offer message. So one of the most important things with Facebook ads is to get your targeting right. And actually, I was on a really interesting webinar recently where we were talking, the presenter was talking about webinars and looking at targeting, and also you don't want to target people that are too big, but you do need to niche down and target your ideal clients. Oh, thank you, I'm getting some Facebook Live love. Thank you. Who's that saying that? Just type in the comments below so I know who you are and I can say thank you. So really important to get your targeting right, and that's actually in the Facebook ads bootcamp that I'm running next week. That's one of the topics that we spend quite a lot of time on, is drilling down into your targeting, because if you don't get your targeting right, it doesn't matter how amazing your copywriting is, how compelling your images is, how amazing your setup is. If you get your targeting wrong, it's a bit like marketing a cheeseburger to a vegetarian. It doesn't matter how amazing your cheeseburger is and how you market it and all the extra sauces and clever things you do with that cheeseburger. If the person in front of you is a vegetarian, you're not going to sell your cheeseburgers. Simple as that. So find out who's in front of you, get that targeting really, really nailed down. So that's T. Offer, again, really important. The number of people that I've seen running Facebook ads and they don't have a really compelling offer. So they're running ads because they want to build awareness or build their community, or they're trying it out to see if they can promote their business. And actually what they're doing is they're sending their traffic either to their homepage, or they just haven't really thought the whole process through. So really important that you've got a strong offer. And also you've got to have an offer that you know, and we talked about this a bit in the budget section the other day, you've got to know that whatever you spend, you can make that back times 2, 3, 5, 10 times from your spend, and the only way to make your money back is to have a strong offer that's going to convert. Otherwise you're going to spend money, you're not going to get results, you're not going to get conversions. And then message is the third piece. So message is important, because if you're marketing to the right target and you've got a strong offer, now you've got to talk about, you've got to get your messaging right around to that target and around that offer. So those are the first things I'd look at. If you're running an ad campaign and it's not working, have a look at your target, have a look at your offer, have a look at your message. Check those things first. One of the ways to check that you've got things right is to look at the metrics we talked about yesterday, and to look at your relevance score, because if your relevance score is really low, that means you're not targeting the right people and they're not interested in what you're advertising. So you won't know actually what the problem is until you get to that point, but the relevance score, and obviously your click costs are going to be high and your conversions are going to be lower. So you'll get a lot of red flags popping up if you get your TOM wrong. Now the other thing to look at, and if you've been to my mmspark.com/fab page, which is promoting the Facebook Ads Bootcamp next week, I talk about this. Facebook ads are brilliant. I love Facebook ads. I've been running them for years. We've got lots of clients that use Facebook ads to create a constant stream of traffic and leads and sales. But Facebook ads are only one piece of the puzzle. So if you create your Facebook ad, but you've got to be really clear on the next step in the process. So it partly comes down to your offer. It's also very much about your landing page and your conversion. So before you run any Facebook ads, it's really important that you have your conversion strategy clear and that you have your landing page ready to go as well. And then what you can do when you're running your ad campaign, again, if something's not working, what you need to do is go into the ad manager and have a look at the reports, and you need to see what the Americans call the sticking point. And I think I love this because it just describes in one word what the problem is. So when you look at your ads as a piece of the process, you've got traffic coming into your ads, you then got a certain number of people clicking on the ads, you then got a certain number of people converting from that click, and then you might be taking them to a landing page, an upsell page, or a sales page. But you've got maybe, it could be as few as 3, it could be as many as 5 or 6 steps in that ad campaign process, with the ad just being one of those steps. And what you need to look for is these sticking points. And we ran a really interesting campaign, I think it was probably almost a year ago now, for a property investor. And we had a lead magnet, and we were selling into a webinar, and then we had all sorts of cross sells and upsells and downsells. It's quite a complicated campaign. And what was really interesting was we moved the different pieces around. So we went from the Facebook ad, for example, to the lead magnet. And then we had another campaign running at the same time, which was the Facebook ads going to a webinar registration. And we tested those things against each other. And then we moved the pieces around. So we said, okay, it's costing too much to get people on the webinar, but if we get people signed onto the list first through the lead magnet, and then we talk about the webinar, then we see our conversions going up. So in that case, the sticking point was getting those conversions onto the webinar from the traffic. So do you see how you take the pieces and you look for the sticking points? Now, I'm making this sound probably quite simple. It can seem more complicated when you're there looking at the dashboard and looking at the campaign, but if you break it down into the different pieces, it's quite easy to see. You'll soon see, am I getting a lot of impressions on my ad but no clicks? Am I getting a lot of clicks but no leads? Am I getting leads but no conversions? And you'll quite quickly see where your sticking points are in that process. And then you can look, because if you're getting a lot of impressions but no clicks, then you've got a problem with your ad. If you're getting a lot of clicks but no leads or no conversion, then you've got a problem with your landing page. And if you're not converting but you're getting good numbers coming into your funnel, as it were, then it's your offer. So, and if your relevance score is low, then you need to look at your look at all of your campaign, but you also particularly need to look at your targeting, who you're targeting and what you're targeting to those people. It might be that you're not using the right language. It might be that your ad is just not eye-catching enough, or that you're not putting enough in the ad. It might be that you need social proof in your ad. You might be making a big bold claim with no social proof, and the market that you're targeting might be a slightly cynical market. So all of those things can be fixed. That's the good news. That's what I love about Facebook ads, is that if you're prepared to work on the Rubik's Cube and you're prepared to take the time to run the campaigns properly and do all the testing that you need to do, you can find the sticking points, you can get rid of them, and you can make your ads work. So that ends the 5 days Facebook Live on 5 and 5 Facebook Live Facebook ad series for this week. What questions do you have about your Facebook ad campaigns? Type them in the comments and I'm happy to take any questions. And just while I'm waiting for questions, because there's always a slight lag between me asking and people typing in the box, I'm launching, it starts on Monday, the Facebook Ads Bootcamp, where I'm going to show you how to set up your Facebook ad campaigns by next weekend, and in the right way. So we're going to show you the resources that you need, the copywriting, finding and creating the best images, and targeting, those 3 really key things. We're going to cover all of that so that you don't fall into some of the mistakes that I talked about on day 2, I think it was, that you set your ads up in the right way and you set yourself up for success. You set up high performing ads from day 1. So no more guessing, no more putting $20 in and hoping it works. We're going to set up a campaign in the right way that we know we're going to give it our, we don't know, we're going to give it our absolute best shot. Everything, you've done the absolute most that you can do to get that campaign to work. So guys, it's great to have you here, but what questions do you have? You're obviously interested in Facebook ads. What questions do you have? Because I'd love to field some questions. The link for the Facebook Ad Bootcamp, which starts on Monday, is mmspark.com/fab, F-A-B, standing for Facebook Ad Bootcamp. So go to that link and sign up if you'd like to join me on Monday. I've only just announced this yesterday, so it's a completely new training. It's based on my years of experience running campaigns for my business. I've used Facebook ads to build my mailing list, to build my online community, to fill my webinars, to run sort of consistent lead gen campaigns, and also run hundreds and hundreds of campaigns for different clients as well across all sorts of industries. And if you want to have a look and see the types of things that we've done, oh thank you, I'm getting hearts now, do have a look at some of our case studies. I talk about some of our ad campaigns in the case studies. That's mmspark.com/case studies, plural. Oh hi Gail. Oh thank you, great series. Question, how do we search for images for target audiences? Use same keywords. Yeah, images is an interesting one. I'm going to cover this on the bootcamp next week, so I hope you'll join for that, because I'm going to spend a whole session talking about images. You can either source images from some of the royalty-free image sites, or you can create your own images, and actually you can do some fantastic images in Canva, and I'm going to show you some Facebook ad templates for how to put those together. The key thing with images is they need to really pop in the newsfeed. So yes, it'd be good if you can find something for your market, but also think about colours and contrasts and something that's going to really stand out in the newsfeed. As I say, I'm going to cover images next week, so I'm not going to go into that into too much detail. And I'm not sure what you mean about keywords. In terms of your copy, yes, you'd want to use the same phrases and expressions as your target market. I've also got a fantastic ninja Facebook ad trick I'm going to share in the bootcamp next week, which I think will answer some of that when you're asking about keywords. It's a way to really build your social proof within your Facebook ads. So if you guys want to join me next week, it's mmspark.com/fab, F-A-B. And we're going to have a private Facebook group, and there'll be a session every day next week. So we're actually going to be on GoToWebinar. So it'll be a closed session with a private Facebook group. Oh, sorry. So using images, using keywords to find images. Yeah, you can certainly do that, but just be careful if you are typing keywords into Google that you don't use Google Images for your ads, because not all Google Images are royalty free. Again, I can show you how to do that, but you mustn't use Google Images because they're not. Some of them are licensed images, and you can get into a lot of trouble if you use licensed images for commercial use. Any other questions on Facebook ads? Anyone running Facebook ads and have any questions? Oh, thank you for all the thumbs up. Is that you, Gail? Okay, I'm going to close there then. If you want to, I'm going to post this in the Modern Marketing Spark page where I am now, but I'll also post it in the Modern Marketing Club, my Facebook group. So if you'd like to know more about the next week's bootcamp, or you have any questions, if you're watching this on replay, which most people do, then type your questions in and I'll see them either in the Modern Marketing Spark page or in the Modern Marketing Club. Gail's asking about retargeting. What's your question? Yeah, definitely you should be retargeting. Retargeting is a fantastic way to get in front of a warm audience. So these are people that already know you. So you get cheaper clicks, higher conversions. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Retargeting is a real sort of secret, or not so secret, a real ninja skill. So yes, definitely, Gail, you should be using retargeting. Okay, I'm going to... There seem to be many ways to do that. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's just like anything. There are loads of different ways that you can, there's loads of different strategies. Sorry, there seem to be more people joining the call now. But yeah, there are many different ways. You've got the sort of, you know, long-term $5, $10 a day type of campaigns that you should have running in the background. And then you've got your sort of launch campaigns when you're launching a program. You've got your sort of sales campaigns for people that's selling physical products, and they tend to be, you know, very focused on very, very niche audiences. You've got retargeting, you've got custom audiences. There are just a myriad of ways that you can use Facebook ads, but that's what's really exciting about it. There's so much potential and so many different ways you can do things. I think the answer, Gail, is like anything. You've got to start somewhere, start simple and start running your campaigns, get comfortable, get that first plate spinning, and then you can start layering up and adding things. If you try and run retargeting and custom audiences and 3 different background sort of cold campaigns, if you try and do it all at once, you're just going to implode. It's too much. You've got to set one thing up at a time, same as you would do anything. And I know you're a busy person too, so all right guys, I'm gonna clock off there, but I'll see you in the Modern Marketing Club. Type fab below if you'd like details of the boot camp. We start on Monday, and actually I'm going to be recording everything, so if for any reason you can't join us live, no problem at all. You can watch this recording, you can still join the private Facebook group, and you can still come in and learn how to create a high performing ad by next weekend. Okay guys, I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.